Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is going to be part 2 of the van build. Part 1 was kind of about like the fuel system and, kind of getting, fixed, I guess. But that's going to trickle down a little bit into part 2 because sad to hear that these fuel sending units that we found in the gas tank, they do not make them anymore. And I went to every auto parts store, even online, they do not have any of them that look like this. So, you got your little brass little filler right here, and that tells the gauge of it. So I'm gonna have to rebuild this thing, and I got a couple parts to kind of rebuild it. So I got this right here, gasket maker. It's kind of fuel resistant, so I can go ahead and put new the gasket maker around here because this gasket is destroyed, and I'm actually gonna fill in the cracks on all of the little air float, so it can withstand the fuel, so it can actually give me an accurate reading on when I have fuel and all that. So for the fuel sock, you can kind of see the sock is actually missing right here. So I actually went ahead and bought like a universal fuel sock. I think this one's off of GM, I think. I have no idea, but I'm actually going to go ahead and cut this right here and outfit it over the little fuel spout. And I've got a little fuel clamp somewhere over here. I'm going to clamp it right here, and then it should be a rebuilt system, I guess. It is a bit corroded, but the gas tank is corroded as well, so that's something that change the fuel filter a couple times. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the gasket maker on that float and put the fuel sock over it, and then I'll cut to that. Okay, we're back, and now I'm kind of doing finishing touches on the fuel sending unit. So right here, I got the little fuel sock right here. I went ahead and cut the original spout for it, and I took a hose clamp and put it around. It's tight, it's not going to go anywhere. It should filtrate fuel. And then right here is your little brass float. You see how there's a lot of holes in it before? I kind of took the gasket maker, rubbed it around the small like pin size holes, and for the bigger cracks I went ahead and actually took the plastic from the little filter come in, and the fuel filter, the fuel sock, then actually put it over some of the bigger holes, and then I'll put a gasket maker over it so the fuel won't eat through the plastic. So this thing should be able to hold air, which is good because now I can be able to tell if my gas tank is full or empty or not. While that's drying, I'm checking on the spark plugs right now. Spark plugs don't look that bad. So right here is, the original spark plug, or probably not original, but what came with it. It's not too bad. You got some carbon buildup around here. It's a little bit dark, but it's not totally bad. And this is the new one going in. I'm just going NGK spark plugs. So a little quick tip: when you're doing new spark plugs on a car, you need to make sure that the threads on the spark plug is the same length as the ones you pull out, because if you don't, and you put a spark plug that has a longer thread, there's actually a great chance that when the engine's on and firing and all that, the spark plug will stick out more into the combustion chamber. So there's a good chance that when the head's firing, like the cylinder head actually can punch the tip of the spark plug and ruin your head and ruin the head of this of the piston. So that's not good. It's not good for your engine and can do a lot of damage. And also you want to make sure that the gaps between the electrode and the little arm up here is about the same, and these are 100% the same, because also I have when you go to the store, you can say, oh, I got this car, and they usually do a good job with matching up all the specs and all that, so they kind of do the work for you. But you always want to make double sure, because people make mistakes. So yeah, right now I'm swapping over the spark plugs, and also I have the distributor cap right here, the new one. So this is the distributor cap, and that one's the original one. I do have the new spark plug wires, but it's a universal kit, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut every single one to the right size, and that's gonna take quite a long time. So I'm actually gonna hold off on that, because spark plug wires, they don't go too bad, they don't go bad too often, but I just wanted to make sure it was a more reliable ride and all that. But I can do that later. I can get away with this. I do want to teach you how a distributor cap works. So right here is your little rotor, and this little rotor spins inside of the distributor cap. The distributor cap would be this type of orientation, but I'm going to show you just for the video. And if you see the rotor, it spins inside here, and you see the little black tip right there, and you see the little metal tips right there. So each metal tip goes to each spark plug wire, and it brings power to the spark plug. And this this is like your timing. So you see how like kind of like all like thrown together, but that's the timing for this engine. So if you see here, it spins when the distributor is spinning. It makes contact, it doesn't make contact, but comes really close to touching each metal prong. So that, creates a connection and brings spark to that cylinder, which makes the cylinder fire, because you know how the cylinders are not firing at the same time. They're firing individual at a very quick RPM. It might seem like it's firing all at the same time, but it's not. And the distributor's cap job is to bring timing to each cylinder. So it's a good idea to replace that, because over time, especially plastic parts, when they spin for a long time, they can degrade, they can get old, and plus it's just good to have a nice connection, and it looks newer and cleaner. So I'll cut the spark plugs in, they're all going to be all set, and then also I'll cut the new distributor cap is in. I might record me putting the distributor cap in. It can be difficult sometimes, and I can get some tips for that. So yeah, I'll cut to that.
Hi.
Okay, so now I got all the spark plugs in. You can see on the nice fresh metal, and all the old ones are on the floor right there. So now it's time for replacing the distributor cap and the rotor that's inside of it. So you can see that on this side and on this side, there's two little caps right here, and there's two little metal clips right here on the distributor cap. So I'm going to go ahead and unclip this side and unclip the other side. And then now I can kind of just lift it up, and there you go. There is the distributor cap to your rotor right there. So when you replace the rotor, you want to make sure it's in the same exact spot, because you don't want to mess up the timing on it. And then when you replace the distributor cap, you want to put all the spark plugs in the right spot. So you can kind of see by your little plastic cap right here where that was, like where it was before. Then you're going to take one, put it here, take one, put it here, put it one, keep just transferring right over. And the middle one, that's going to the ignition coil. And on this car, there's only one ignition coil. The newer cars usually have an ignition coil for each cylinder. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull off one distributor spark plug, pointing it on this one, and then taking the next one, and then putting it on the next one, making sure that they're all in the right timing and all that. Make sure they're all clicked in and all that. And then taking this one, okay, that one's being a little tough. Come on, you can get out. This one. And then putting it on this right here, then taking this one, and then putting it on this one right here, then taking this one. So you pretty much go all the way around, and you're going to start plugging all your distributor spark, all your spark plug wires into the corresponding distributor cap kind of placement. I'm going to go ahead and grab this middle one that goes to the ignition coil and plug it into here. So yeah, all you do is just transfer them over. It doesn't really matter and how tangled the wires are, but it is nice to have the little guides right here.
Hi, I see your house.
Hi Vovo, how you doing?
Good.
So yeah, now you can take out the distributor cap like this. And then you have your rotor right here. And then all you do is just unplug the rotor like that, pop it right out, pops right out. And then you can put the new rotor in like that. This one clicks in. Hold on. It's not clicking in right now.
Huh?
Yeah, dirty.
Bad.
Okay, maybe this rotor is not the right size. No, it's the right size. That one is a little worn out because plastic over time gets brittle. So now I can go ahead and take the distributor cap, put it back in the right spot.
Okay.
And
Do you need help with that?
No.
Put it back on the metal clips. And there you go. It is back on. Okay. So yeah, it's on now. So yeah, that's probably going to conclude the video. Today I just want to get spark plugs on, fix that fuel sending unit. I'm going to throw that into the back of the gas tank right after this because it should be done drying and new spark plugs. So yeah, maybe next video I'm going to go ahead and do all the fluids flush and fluid changes, and it should be running. It should be getting ready to run.
Yay.
Unless that carb is totally junk. So we'll see then. As always, you know, like, comment, subscribe. We read all the comments and all that. And any questions out there, we can go ahead and answer them. And as always, thank you for watching the video and have a great day.